So we just added 2 items to the agenda without any objections before you got here. Let's start with introducing our guests for public commentary. I think I saw Frank here with Frank Atwood.
Yes, this is Frank Atwood. I'm the CRC Center-Right Coalition liaison for the Libertarian Party. They met this morning at 9 o'clock, went for an hour. Primary focus is electing Cory Gardner as Colorado's next senator. Want to give Polis grief, and life continues basically uneventfully. Any questions?
Yes.
Yes, Mike.
Were they wearing masks and 6 feet apart?
They were 6 feet apart. The inner circle of about a half dozen people were at Independence Institute. I suspect about eight or 6 feet apart in the smaller conference room. They weren't wearing masks, and most of us on the Zoom were not with masks either. Any other questions? I think that's about it, except to report that the approval voting party's doing well. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Do we have any other guests? We have Alex here. He has expressed an interest in becoming our new fundraising director. Alex, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, I've been technically registered with Libertarian Party of Colorado. I'm guessing since basically 2016. That was my first presidential election. One of those people who got to looking at the options of Trump or Clinton and was just convinced there had to be a better one out there. Through that and some of my involvement in different Charles Koch Institute programming at the time, kind of really got indoctrined. Maybe that's the wrong way to put it, but was really introduced to the libertarian philosophy and what was the basis behind it. And over the last 4 years, I've just continued to learn more, and would be very interested in joining you guys as a fundraising director and seeing what type of difference I can make in an on-hands environment where I'm actually able to connect with the voters.
Awesome, thank you. Is there anyone else for public commentary? All right, let's move on to affiliates report, and let's go with Arapahoe County.
All righty, my name is Eric Mulder. I am putting on my Arapahoe County chair hat to proudly announce that tomorrow, the Libertarian Party of Arapahoe County will be live streaming our primary debate for our U.S. Senate nomination. The candidates are Ramon Doan and Galen Kent, and we will be streaming that live via Zoom. If you would like more details about that meeting, please contact Joshua Lalamet, Arapahoe County's communications director. And we will be having a moderated debate by Kat Martin. And with time permitting at the end of the debate, we'll even open the floor up to Zoom participants. So bring your questions, BYOB, and we hope to see you there tomorrow at 6:30.
Now, are you doing this just via Zoom?
Yes, this will be done just via Zoom.
Okay, thank you very much. Denver. Was there somebody here from Denver? Boulder. Anyone from Boulder? Douglas County.
Madam Chairman, Vice Chair Mulder speaking.
Yes, Mr. Mulder.
Looks like we got a hand up.
Did, hang on.
Looks like it's from Matt DG.
Well, it's Douglas County spot. Matt DG can wait.
All right.
Douglas County is I thought I saw Wayne Harlow's on here.
Karen Ann Harless is on.
Karen Ann, but not Wayne.
No.
Okay, so nobody from Douglas County. El Paso County?
The only thing I know is that we're supposed to be having our third Thursday meeting at a restaurant in Calhan. I'm hoping it's not the same restaurant that got closed down.
We had
We'll
lunch
see.
today, so it's not.
Oh, awesome. And we're gonna have our board meeting. We got kind of screwed up with our 14-day warning on the board meeting, so that's gonna be a day before our third Thursday meeting. It's gonna be on the Wednesday, and that's going to be at Tori's house. She's our chair.
Could
That's
you
all I've got.
speak up? It was a little bit blurred. Could you repeat that, please? The
Our
last-
next board meeting is going to be Wednesday, right before the third Thursday. And it's going to be at Tori's house, Tori being the El Paso County chair. Did you hear that okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Pueblo, Otero?
Yeah, for Pueblo, like everybody else, we're waiting for this ridiculous lockdown to end so we can start holding meetings again. You know, our venue is a restaurant and not available, but we do have a little bit of news to report. On May 5th, we had some local elections. I think last time we had 3 people who attend our meetings who were running for the Pueblo West Metro District election. None of them got elected. It was, as you can guess, the guys with the most and biggest yard signs out that won. But there were 12 people running for 2 seats. And our guy, he was number 4. So that's not too bad. The other 2 were kind of sorted down toward the bottom. So I wanted to report that. And then also the second thing was there was a vote for the city to kick Black Hills Energy to the curb and start their own municipal electric utility. And I personally, I'm glad to report that it got defeated because it would have involved eminent domain, confiscating their assets, and the city taking over a utility where they've never proven they can do anything right, including running a dog pound. Literally cannot run a dog pound. So those are the 2 votes that were held on May 5th. Waiting for lockdown to end so we can start holding meetings again.
Awesome, thank you very much. Did I miss any affiliates? Oh, Jefferson County. Anyone here from Jefferson County?
I mean, yes, but there's nothing to report. We continue to meet via Zoom.
Okay, thank you very much, Mike. Now, next thing on the agenda would be,
Victoria, I had a question that was pertinent to Arapahoe County. That's why I raised my hand.
okay, ask away.
My question would be a 2-parter. Eric, is this going to be on a Facebook Live? And if so, Josh, is there any way that we could do a watch party from the state page for it?
I'd like to defer that question to Joshua Lallement. He's our communications director and the person who has the Zoom account who's making this happen for us.
Word.
Josh, floor is yours.
Yeah, Matt, I sent my email in the chat. If you want to join, just email me. I'll send the invite to you. It's my first time doing Zooming, so we'll see how it goes.
Thank you. If you want to borrow my Zoom account, you can. It's a paid account. You can video and live stream and all that stuff too. I don't know if that'll help or not. Okay, now, LNC report, Ms. Harlows. I know there was some things that happened with LNC.
Yeah, and I obviously did not have time to do something in writing. I don't have time to sleep right now. And as we speak, I'm working on minutes for the LNC, so that's fine. Over the weekend, it was decided that they were going to carve out an exception for the presidential and the vice presidential nominations only due to impossibility of strictly adhering to the bylaws, in that ballot access deadlines would come up, filing deadlines, before we could ever have an in-person convention. So that particular part of the convention was carved out as meeting impossibility, with the rest of the convention business being postponed to an in-person convention so far on July 9th through July 12th in Orlando, Florida, at a property owned by Rosin, who is the same people who owned the property that the 2016 convention was held at, who apparently is a small L Libertarian. So the state chairs got some information today from credentials. Let me know, Victoria, if you never get any of this, or if the communication seems jumbled to you, in order to start preparing. The national staff is working at a breakneck speed on trying to make sure that all of the various problems that people experience during the test runs get ironed out. And of course, I'm working with them on that to make sure that we have secure balloting so that our results aren't challenged. It's quite a serious process going on, because we're vulnerable right now, particularly no matter who our nominee is, we're vulnerable, because the old parties, of course, never want to even, give up a percentage point because they think we're stealing it. But if Amash ends up being the nominee, we have a high chance of being hit with 51 different lawsuits. And this again raises the issue of the financial state of the National Party, which I'd be more than glad to answer any questions about. So we're being super, super cautious on what we're doing, because we're not trying to open ourselves up to lawsuits. I realize to some people that some of the arguments can seem quite arcane, but we're trying to protect the party from bankruptcy. And I know it's fun to argue on social media because we're all bored and home and quarantined, but there's so many nuances and issues that are going on that just are not adequately represented by the arguments there. And if we open ourselves up even the slightest as to whether we could have possibly fulfilled our bylaws or not, it doesn't matter if 51 lawsuits would be frivolous, it would still bankrupt this party.
Right. I did not get the communication that was sent to the chairs, by the way.
Okay, I will speak with Susan. It was about credentials, on how to, to make sure all of the information is up and how that would happen. But I would encourage everyone, if you have questions about what happened, or how anyone voted, or how anyone argued any particular point, to go ask them personally before engaging in a social media ignorant mob. After you have the information, you might still be as incensed, and then feel free, please, to join the mob. But join the mob with information first, please. It's much more helpful to face an educated mob.
Thank you very much. Time's up.
Karen Ann, this is John Pickerel. I have a question, Madam Chairman, if I'm allowed.
Go ahead, Mr. Pickerel. If you would raise your hand before just speaking, I would really appreciate it. In a Zoom account, it can become very convoluted if more than one person speaks. Right now, it hasn't happened yet, but I would ask everyone to please raise their hands.
Imagine 1,046 of us in a Zoom meeting. Yay.
Okay, sorry about that. Karen Ann, what's the lawsuit based on? The fact that he came into the race late?
No, it wouldn't be on him in particular. It's just that he's more threatening. It would be on us not following our bylaws. So we face challenges based upon national party procedure, no matter who the candidate is. It's just that he is more of a threat to our wonderfully vain sitting president.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Okay. Next thing is to read and approve minutes from last month. Has everyone read the minutes?
Yep.
Is there any opposed to approving the minutes as is? Without opposition, the minutes are from last meeting are approved. I have been, so next thing is chair report. I have been so extremely busy that I haven't had time to sleep. I don't know if you guys have been following the craziness that has been happening around Colorado. I have been all over the news, for good or for bad. I guess I want everybody to die, is what I was told, but that's not the case. We have put out letters to all of the sheriff's departments asking them not to enforce unconstitutional laws. We've also sent out an open letter to the governor asking him to please stop with his draconian measures. We've had a protest April 19th. I don't know if you saw the protest that was organized by the Libertarian Party of Colorado, and several of the Libertarian Party affiliates co-hosted. And we had, according to Denver police, between 4,000 and 5,000 people on the lawn and over 9,000 people in cars that were going around the Capitol. There was one lane left open during that traffic in case there were emergency vehicles that needed to go by, because it's really a douchey move to just gridlock the whole town. So we did leave one lane of traffic open at all times. There were other groups that joined us. Reopen Colorado was one of the other groups that joined us. There was another group called End the Lockdowns that also joined us, and they represent organizations of different kinds, all sorts of different organizations. So hang on, John, I see your hand up. Give me a second. Also, there is something that I would like to speak about, and that is all of the wonderful people who have been volunteering and helping in Colorado. I'll answer John's question and then I'll continue with the rest of my report. Go ahead, John.
I just want to say, Victoria, that when you say things like, I was told I want to kill people in the news, I couldn't be more proud of you. You know, there's somebody that said one time that you receive most flack when you're over the target. And I just want to say that I am very proud to have you as my chairman, because you're going out on a limb, you're sticking your neck out, and you don't care that what people are going to say, because you're saying the right thing. You're saying libertarian values, despite what the political correctness is. So I just want to make that comment.
Thank you very much, John. Now, I don't know if everybody got their mail yet. There were some awards sent out to people due to the cancellation of our in-person annual state convention. And not everyone who has contributed was given an award. We had very limited funds to get awards, so we only decided to do 10. And I know that there are many people who definitely deserve a shout out that may not have received an award this year. But I would like to take a moment to recognize the 2020 Minuteman Awards. Those were activists who attended to create outreach events, write letters to the editor, attend forums, lobby at the Capitol, or serve at local boards. There are always dozens of candidates for this award. We have to limit this. So we presented these awards based on people who had submitted them to us for others. So Betty Rose Ryan, Amy Lundy, Mark Montoni, Joe Johnson, Miguel Gomez, Mike Quinlan, Beatrice Sutton, Jesse Bonds, Rich Anderson, and David Aitken received Minuteman Awards. The 2020 PATAC Award for Activist of the Year was given to Ross Klopp for his exceptional activism throughout the whole year. The Friend of Liberty 2020 Friend of Liberty Award was given to Laura Ebke. It's usually not given to libertarians, but it really is specified not Colorado registered libertarians. So Laura Ebke is not a Colorado registered libertarian, but she has gotten the Friend of Liberty Award. Also, the 2020 Lexington Award, Lifetime Achievement Award to local libertarian with more than 15 years of steady activism in the Colorado Libertarian Party, was awarded to Mike Spalding and Steve Gallant, both members of this board. There was one other person that should really be recognized too, was Alan Heyman. He stepped up and did an amazing job with campaigns, and just, he's not on the board. He's just been working tirelessly. I would say a minimum of 60 hours a week for the last 2 to 3 months, just making sure that we got those candidates on the ballot, along with the campaigns committee. There were several people on that committee. There were also other people that stepped in and helped, Michael Stapleton, Michael Seebeck, and so many others. I just can't name everyone who has just been helping. I wish I had the time to name everybody, but due to the time constraints, I'm sure that you guys know who you are, who have done so much for liberty and silently helping us to achieve greatness. And this year we have nearly 60 candidates on the ballot. And that is an accomplishment that, given the particular circumstances of this year, I didn't expect would happen. So thanks you to everyone, and please give yourselves a round of applause. I really applaud you for all of your efforts, everyone here. Thank you so much. I see there's things on. Now, if we go back to the agenda, Mr. Vice Chair. Eric, are you muted? Eric Mulder.
Do you want me to unmute him?
Yeah, unmute him. Maybe he doesn't, he's not realizing he's not muted.
There we go.
Sorry about that. My internet disconnected from me. I have nothing to add to my report.
Thank you. Mr. Treasurer.
I have nothing to add.
Campaigns. Please keep it to less than 3 minutes. DG.
Yes, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so just some things to add to my report is I have the first round of Zoom calls scheduled. I've got the federal candidates and the county commissioner candidate email with that sent. The state house one sent here shortly. We have a handful of two-way races that we are looking at right now. We have Waugh in Lake County. We have Franjosa in Park. We have Sean Short in HD 50. We have Michelle Pogue in SD 29. Kat Martin, we gotta see if she still lives there. If not, we can fill through vacancy in Arapahoe County, District 5. And then the name's escaping me, but it's District 53, which is Fort Collins, the area covering CU or CSU, which is kind of interesting in that front, because maybe you can get YAL support on that one since they don't have to pick between us and a Republican. So I advise candidates to get on these calls if they can with me. We're going to be doing some training, some discussions about marketing and how to manage the social media. I'm already seeing that our candidate in Park is facing some rumor mill stuff that's going on, so much so that we might need a libertarian lawyer to file an injunction on his behalf. It's getting real in some of these races, and it's getting dirty. And hopefully, we come out of these with some wins. I've spoken to Kara Scholes about getting some national support, and she is looking at these races with interest. And I hope maybe we build a couple of affiliates out of these runs too, getting some people together. I've got them in the mind of looking at starting kickoff events for their campaigns here as we open up. And yeah, there's some good stuff going on that we can fire on, and we'll be able to do the candidate ratings here shortly, as the SOS is just now getting me the confirmations on our state candidates, which are rolling in starting today.
Wow, perfect timing. Thank you, Mr. DG. Outreach. Well, we don't have an outreach director here. Affiliate, Steve?
Well, I'm looking forward to getting back to reality. And I was just going to mention, as an aside, the rank and file Denver cops absolutely hate what they're doing or being forced to do. And they're actually refusing to wear masks and getting cited for that. So it's apparently just the top level of the Denver police that has to play politics. So the cops aren't too thrilled about it either. They don't really feel like taking down somebody for not wearing a mask in a Walmart or whatever. So just an aside.
Good to hear.
You had some interesting contacts from a couple different counties, I heard.
Coming up that we got, you've mentioned the one in Lincoln, contact in Lincoln, and what's our other county? Blanking on it right now.
Chaffee? Or
In Chaffee County. And I've talked to her and sent her the affiliate handbook, and I'm gonna follow up, and she's wants to get meetings going.
that's super exciting news. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can I get the name of our call-in?
Would you please raise your hand before speaking? Who was that?
Spalding. He's raising his hand now.
Okay, who was it? I don't see
Mike
it.
Spalding.
Mike Spalding, go ahead.
It looks like we have a caller. I'm wondering if we could get a name for the caller.
970 area code.
Yeah.
970 is muted. Can we unmute him? He's on a phone.
Unmuted.
Okay.
Hello, this is Buck Bailey up in Sargent, Colorado. Sorry I'm late. I was just kind of curious about what's going on.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. David Adams has his hands up.
Yeah, Steve, I would like you to send me the name and email address of those contacts, or the new county contacts, please.
Okay, I'll send you those.
All right, 20 seconds. Guess that's it for affiliates. Legislative, do we have legislative on? Mike Stapleton, are you on? I guess legislative is not here. Membership, John Pickerel.
Yeah, just one thing to add to my report. We were we're getting a lot more notifications from people interested in the party, volunteers, and running for office. A lot of that was people that filed the on the website, I think. And so when we had our convention, we asked everybody to do that. But I think that we're seeing a big uptick in interest in the party. And unfortunately, I'm struggling to keep up with, I try to send a reply back to everyone that comes in. And my goal is to have that done before the end of the month. That didn't get done, but I will try to do that in this next week. I just want to make you aware that the replies did not go out as they normally do every month. Lastly, just a reminder, the newsletter, I put this in the report, but I'm going to stress it. We're going to try to get an electronic version out by May 15th. Karen, Ann, and I are working on that. So if you do have anything to add, the deadline may have already passed, but maybe you can beg Karen, Ann, if you can throw it in there after the deadline. So in case anybody was wondering about the newsletter.
I'll probably want to add a message from the chair. Let me know. I'll send something in. Thanks. Communications, we don't have secretary. Mike,
I have nothing to add to my report.
standing committees, technology,
I have nothing.
database, website.
Yeah, all of you who have Zoom meetings scheduled, I'm willing to put those on the events page. So please send me the information. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Welcome committee. Campaigns committee. I see I forgot to revise this page. Legislative committee. Okay, unfinished business, new business. I thought I added to new business that we, here we go. Elect, confirm communications director, Joshua Lallement. Is there a motion to confirm Josh for communications?
Madam
director?
Secretary, this is John Pickerel. I
John?
move we ratify the decision to make Josh Lallement the permanent communications director of the LPCO.
There's a motion to make Josh Lallement the communications director for the LPCO. Is there a second? Yes, Mr.
John
Duersman, I second.
I just raised my hand to do that.
Okay, so there's a motion that's been seconded. Are there any opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. The motion passes. We have a vote to elect a fundraising director. We have Alex Hutton. Am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Indeed, you are.
Who has expressed an interest, and Nota. All in favor of Alex, would you raise your hand?
I would love to do so, but I guess is that a Zoom feature, I assume?
I don't know who's speaking in the background.
There's several people raising their hand.
Right. No, I'm asking everyone to raise their hand if they're in favor.
Oh, gotcha.
John Pickerel, are you opposed?
No, I'm just technically challenged. I vote aye.
Steve Gallant, are you opposed?
No.
So is that
aye.
a tie vote? All right, with a unanimous vote, Alex Sutton is now our fundraising director until the convention. At that time, he may run for election. You may lower your hands. Passes unanimously. Is there any other new business?
Can I ask for spelling of Alex's last name?
Alex, would you spell your last name, please?
Yeah, it is H-U-T-T-O-N.
Would you speak closer? We can barely hear you.
Oop, yeah, give me just one sec here.
There we go. So that is H-U-T-T-O-N.
Awesome. David Atkin has his hands up.
Yes, for both of the new board members, please send me something, a short bio for the web page, 2 or 3 sentences, and I'll need a picture. Also, there is someplace in your folders or in Eric Mulder, the vice chair's folder, there is or should be a continuity binder that has procedures that you should be either following or revising to help you do your job. That's all I had.
Thank you very much. Eric?
Just want to add on what David Aiken was saying. If any of you new board members can't get to your continuity binders, just email me at vicechair@lpcolorado.org and I'll send those to you.
And would you also get with Mike Quinlan to make sure you have emails and so forth sent over to you? Send technology an email with your contact information. If you would copy me on that email as well, I'd appreciate it. Is there anything else? Looks like there is no further business. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you very much for joining us.
Woo.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. This was quite fun.
Absolutely.
Good night all.
Nice and fast.
Yeah. Awesome. I've stopped the recording. Thank you, everyone, so much for being here and for joining us. It really, really means so much to me. And to Liberty, of course.
Totally.
Hey, is Alexis no longer our outreach person, or she just wasn't here tonight?
She just wasn't here tonight. However, she has